On March 15, 2024, the Kakas Hungarian Memorial was inaugurated in the World War II Vanguard Museum of Lahijan with the presence of His Excellency Mr. Zoltán Varga-Hasszony, the Hungarian ambassador to Iran. István Kakash is the first known Hungarian diplomat to enter Iran. In the 1600s, he was sent by the Holy Roman Empire in order to form an alliance with the Safavid Empire of Iran, but on his journey he died in Lahijan.
Right, so, Your Excellency Mr. Zoltán Varga-Hasszony, I welcome you to the World War II Vanguard Museum of Lahijan and the inauguration, of course the unofficial one, of István Kakash Memorial, beside the memorial of István Kakash. But this memorial is not just a memorial to commemorate just one person. It is a link of commemorating two countries, two great nations with a long history, one another, and live in peace together. The World War II Vanguard Museum of Lahijan is not a pro-war museum, rather it is a museum for peace. As by learning from the past, we hope to bring a future of peace, prosperity, and joy, not for people just for our own lands, but through all across the world. Today's memorial doesn't just commemorate Kakash's envoy to Iran, but it also commemorates the linking point and the importance of Lahijan and Gilan. Gilan was always an essential and important part in history. Various nations crossed the borders of Gilan, went through the cities, and various people from nations all across the world came to this region in different times. Note that Gilan's importance in culture, tradition, and history has been underrated and has not been talked about enough. We hope that by commemorating István Kakash, the links of the Holy Roman Empire, Gilan, Hungary, and Iran will open a key point in understanding the potentials within this province more than it has to this day. I thank you all for coming to this event. Thank you.
But I would like to express our gratitude, first of all, to the Omidi family, and especially Mr. Karen Omidi, for taking the initiative, understanding the idea about István Kakash as a cultural memorial, I would call, which symbolizes the relationship between our two countries, which goes back for centuries. It is very important for us because, as it was very nicely put in this video, what we could watch, Mr. Kakash was probably the very first Hungarian envoy whom we know by name and came as an envoy of a ruler of the Hungarian kingdom to the faraway land of Persia or Iran. Unfortunately, as it was mentioned, he died. In 1602, as it was again very rightly mentioned, he started his journey in August, went towards Poland, then Lithuania and Russia. He spent the winter in Kazan. After leaving Moscow, he went to Kazan. After receiving the permission to cross the Tatar land, he was even waiting for 2 months to get the ships ready at the Caspian Sea, and then they started the journey, and he arrived, if I'm not mistaken, early September to Langarud. And unfortunately, many people got sick over here, including István Kakash. So after a while, on October 25th, he died here in Lahijan. And as it was mentioned, he was simply buried under a tree, and we don't know today where is the tree.
و در لایجان فوت کردن و با اون تشکیلات لباس و
Mr. Shabanzadeh, on behalf of the Lahijan municipality, added that the project for building a memorial for Kakash actually began 15 years ago. but wasn't followed up until recently when the World War II Vanguard Museum began the project. He also added about a short and brief history of Kakash and the writings within Iter Persicum describing Eastern Gilan, in particular Langerud and Lahijan.
بودن از قرن 17 به این ور پایگاه اصلی یا لحظه مودت بین دو تا کشور شهری به اسم لایجان.
Yes, right over there. Yes, near the front. We have arranged commemorating Kakash. It is a gift of your final stay, of your final event in Lahijan, and we are handing it to you as a memorial for you. You could put it in the embassy or take it for yourself because we have a few. Thank you so much
for us.
Yes, it's a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Азии, стихотворения, родноте, очень известный, how to say, fierce anti-fascist. И еще сказки очень известны.
Standing here in the World War II Vanguard Museum, and today we are inaugurating a memorial to István Kakash, who died here in Lahijan in 1603. He was an envoy of the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire and the Hungarian Kingdom, and despite the geographical distance, we could find common interest between the two countries. So this dialogue was helping further on to connect the two countries, the two people, and this is what we are celebrating today, that when there is a will, there is a way. And even the distance, the geographical distance, cannot prevent people to have connections between the two nations. So I think this is an important memorial, a reference point in our bilateral relations. I hope that many people will visit the museum and see also the memorial of Kakash and know more about the relationship between Iran and Hungary.
گردشگری انتخاب شد در کل کشور با توجه به اون که آماری که الان ما داریم بیش از 87.
Mr. Jahani, the general manager of cultural heritage of Gilan, also added that one of the most significant and important sites for many tourists that visit Gilan to see are cultural sites, sites that indicate and show the history, culture, and traditions of Gilan, and a proper way for them to better understand the history and the heritage of this province.
مختلفی که موضوعات مختلفی که ما الان تو بحث موضوعات مانند میراث ناملموس داریم، فرهنگ کشاورزی داریم، موضوعهای باستانشناسی داریم، موضوعهای مثلا جنگ جهانی دوم داریم، بتونیم راه اندازی بکنیم که مردم عزیز که وارد استان گیلان میان بتونن از این موضوعها هم استفاده ببرن در با تاریخ و فرهنگ کهن اون منطقه، حالا اون شهر بتونن استفاده بکنن.
روز جمعه در موزه ونگارد جنگ جهانی دوم لاهیجان هستیم و امروز مراسم رونمایی از یادبود کاکاش سفیر وقت مجارستان، البته در زمان امپراتوری روم مقدس در لاهیجان بود و ایشون با مرارت‌های سختی که تشریف آوردن برای دوستی بین دو تا ملت برادر و دوست، مجارستان و ایران در لاهیجان که متاسفانه در لنگرود موجب بیماری مخملک شدن و در لاهیجان پس از گذشت فرایند خیلی سختی درگذشتن که در لاهیجان مدفنشون در لاهیجان. یکی از چیزهای موثر در این یادمان و یاد بود اینه که باعث مودت و دوستی بین دو تا کشور مجارستان و ایران میشه. خب همونطور که میدونید کشور ایران علل خصوص لاهیجان ظرفیت و پتانسیل های بسیار زیادی داره. اگر از لحاظ فرهنگی، از لحاظ اقتصادی بخوایم به این قضیه نگاه بکنیم بسیار خوب میتونن دو تا ملت با هم ارتباط برقرار کنن و باعث رونق اقتصادی بین دو تا کشور بشه.
2 times. And if it was a foe, meaning like a German soldier, they would think it's maybe a bird giving a sound. So they won't be able to identify it. The one you see in my hand is actually a replica, but we have an original in the showcase. Used in different campaigns. Now this was found in the Eastern Front in the German invasion of the Soviet Union known as Operation Barbarossa. This was found in the Western Front in the German invasion of the Netherlands in 1940. And this is a more stable version found in Hamburg, Germany itself. It's not like these. This one was never underground. It was always like this. And we have like ammunition pouches. We have the machine gun box, ammo box, a food container, part of the Ustashi. The Spanish, of course, they were not directly involved in the war. They sent the Blue Division to the Eastern Front. We have even Indian. Here's a Hungarian one. And the Hungarians played a pivotal role on the Eastern Front in the invasion of the Soviet Union, as far as I know. And so did the Italians. Even Armenian and Azerbaijani legions, very small. There was even a British legion known as the British Free Corps. Approximately 40 men, not more. It was not very popular. The Kuban is for the Cossacks, and we have the Ukrainian and even the Vaslov army for the Russians.
Yeah. With the Russian weapon, if it goes like this, you shoot and then well, it goes wherever.
Yeah.
But with the German, you could very punctually hit the target, but not in -30 or -40 because it gets frozen altogether and the bullet doesn't even go out from the weapon. So those factors played an important role in that time, or at that time. Hungarian soldiers were simply frozen. Many people were lost without any kind of information later on, whether they got killed or whether they got simply frozen on the Eastern Front. And we lost like 200,000 Hungarian soldiers.
How interesting, you know, like not interesting in war, but they're amazed by the story and they learn about it quite well. And of course, the last part of this room, which is quite interesting, is this fan. It's about 60 years old and it still works. It's from Orient, India.
Wow.
It even works better than the fans these days.